Hello, my name is Manaz, and this video covers a sequence of postures that are helpful for football players. Now, football players tend to deal with some common injuries such as Achilles tears and ankle injuries, along with knee and even hamstring injuries, along with shoulder and rotator cuff. So this is just a short sequence. You want to make sure to move through it carefully, slowly, making sure not to create any force or any pain in any part of the body. So we're going to actually start out with a shoulder stretch, and you have to be very careful with this one. Now, when I mentioned tenting the fingertips, you basically place your hand on the floor with the fingertips against the floor. That's tenting your hand on the floor. So we're going to start out on the belly. So you lay on your stomach and you're going to reach your left arm out to the side with the palm against the ground and the shoulder on the ground. You tent your right hand fingertips underneath your right shoulder, and you carefully, slowly roll over that shoulder. You can have this right leg just kind of up in the air or place the foot down and carefully monitor and feel that chest opening, that shoulder stretch on the left side, holding for 3 to 5 breaths, breathing in and breathing out by your nose. And then, of course, you do the same thing other side. You're going to reach the right arm out, palm down, shoulder down, roll over that shoulder with maybe that left foot on the ground, and try to hold for 3 to 5 breaths on this side, breathing in and breathing out. And then very slowly coming back to center and placing your hands underneath your shoulders, pressing the body up. Now that one is awkward at first. It takes a few times to get used to it, to really feel the stretch. Now in your tabletop position, your knees are below the hips, your hands and wrists are below your shoulders. You're going to inhale and arch your back, lifting the head up, and then you exhale, you round in, pulling the belly in nice and tight. So try to do this at least 5 times, lifting the head up and exhaling, rounding the spine. So clearly this creates some spine mobility, inhaling, arching, and exhaling, rounding, but also it helps create some mobility in the shoulders and the hips. We'll do 2 more. Inhale, you arch, and exhale, you round. Good. Let's do 1 more. You lift the head up, maybe pull the shoulders back. You exhale, round in, pressing the hands, the knees, the shins into the ground. And then you come into that neutral spine. We're going to do another shoulder stretch. So bring that left arm underneath the right. Place your head on the floor. Let the body weight sink down towards the floor and control it with that right hand. So do hold for another 3 to 5 breaths. You can always reach that left arm over to the right more to feel a deeper stretch. And then, of course, you do the same thing, other side. Bring the other arm under. Rest your head, your shoulder down. This takes some practice as well to get comfortable with. And then try to relax your spine. Breathing in, breathing out. Then you come back into your tabletop. This is another physical therapy move. Helps the shoulders. You're going to step into your plank. Reach one leg back at a time. And make sure the belly is tight. The glutes are tight in your plank, and at least 8 times. I like to exhale into a downward facing dog. Legs could be bent or straight. You just want that spine nice and straight. And then you inhale into your plank. So at least 8 times. You exhale your downward facing dog, pushing the hands into the floor. You go into your plank, and we do at least 6 more. Exhale. And inhale. You're nice and strong through the arms, pressing down into the floor. Good. And just feeling that mobility you're creating in the shoulders. So not just the mobility and flexibility, but the strengthening as well. So let's do at least, I lost count, at least 2 more. So you can do it 8 times, you can do it 10 times, you can do it 12 times, but do take your time and really feel and stay connected to the body. Good. Now from here, we're just going to walk the feet up. You can always use blocks here. So feet are hip width distance. If you use blocks, just have the blocks ready. Position them on either side. And before we move into that part, we're going to just bend the knees and let the head relax. You just dangle here. You can even grab the opposite elbows. Feel this nice stretch to the back of the legs. And tighten the belly, relax that spine, allowing it to lengthen down towards the ground, breathing in and breathing out. And then, again, if you're going to use the blocks like I am, you can place the hands on the blocks. Make sure you don't force this part. You're going to gently push the knees back, and then go ahead, bend the knees. Again, as you exhale, push the knees back. So again, back to that deep hamstring stretch, bend the knees, and then push them back. And this time I want you to hold and breathe, breathing in and breathing out. So again, good stretch to the back of the legs. Make sure the weight is forward towards the fronts of the feet, not back in the heels so much. Good. And then if you need to bend the knees slightly, we're going to move into heel lifts. So this is going to strengthen ankles. So keeping the feet hip width, you're just going to lift the heels and you're going to lower. Now, if you don't have this much flexibility, even with the blocks higher, you can absolutely just place your hands against a wall and do this standing upright. So lifting the heels and lowering, again, lifting and lowering. Now, it does help to really spread those toes out as well. Good. And try to do at least 8, 10, or 12 heel lifts. And once you're done with that, you're going to gently bend the knees and bring the hips to the floor. Taking those legs out in front, and we're working the hamstrings again. So pressing the knees down into the floor. You can stay upright. Eventually, you can start walking the hands forward, pressing the knees down, stretching hamstrings, and ultimately even lengthening the spine. Then try to hold where you can for 3 to 5 breaths, breathing in and breathing out. Good. And once you're ready, you're going to release this stretch and we move into our straddle. Now, when you do straddle, you want to line your heels up. You don't need to go to the max. You flex the feet. You can absolutely put your hips against a wall. And ultimately, you want to start walking the hands forward. Once you can walk your hands forward, most of us are rounded. Eventually, you want to lengthen that spine. Keep pressing the knees down, working hip mobility, stretching inner thighs, stretching hamstrings, breathing in and breathing out. Hold as long as it feels good for you. And one more pose we do, gently walking the hands back, our spine twist. So bending that right knee, you can position your foot outside the knee. You bring that right hand behind you, right at the base of the spine, and then you lengthen. Place your elbow outside the knee, pull your belly in, make sure your shoulders are directly over the hips. So you sit tall, and then you bring the rib cage back, your shoulder, and then the head. And do try to hold for at least 3 breaths again, breathing in and breathing out by the nose. And then the same thing, other side, bending that left knee, foot outside. It could be inside as well. Left arm behind, elbow outside the knee. You can also wrap your arm around, lengthen first, and then rib cage, shoulder, and the head turn last. So you want to twist from the bottom up and hold again for 3 or even 5 breaths. And then very gently, you untwist. So making sure to do this as frequently as you can, maybe every day, every other day. I do hope that this video is helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Namaste.